Good morning and welcome to another exciting meeting of Sattvic Toastmasters Club for Healthy Living. I'm Toastmaster Amarnath, your sergeant at arms for today's meeting. At Sattvic Toastmaster, we strive to inspire personal and professional growth, all while we embrace the holistic approach to living. Let us take a moment to remind our mission guided for us in the Toastmaster. The mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, result in greater self-confidence and personal growth. To ensure that our meeting runs seamlessly and is enjoyable for everyone, please keep the following ground rules in mind. Speakers are requested to employ caution when making any reference to sensitive topics like politics, sex, or religion during the meeting. And please turn on your camera and ensure microphone is muted when you're not speaking. And please do not interrupt when someone is speaking. Kindly rename yourself with role prefix to your name. If you are a guest, may I request kindly prefix guest in front of your name. Our club Sattvic Healthy for Living is focused on wellness and healthy living. And we take care any information which is shared here with thoughtful consideration. Please remember that any or all the information shared in this meeting is for the general knowledge purpose and educational purposes only. It is not professional medical advice. If you are considering any actions based on what's shared here, we encourage you to consult a qualified medical professional. Your health decisions are your responsibility. Without any further delay, let me invite our presiding officer for today, Toastmaster Ishita. So Ishita has worked in corporate world across India and US. She has been a Toastmaster for more than 3 years now, and she lives in Bhubaneswar, Odisha. She is passionate about mental health, self-development, and wellness, and also she loves to uh, speak about these topics. Welcome, President of Sattvic Toastmasters and today's presiding officer, Ishita Patnaik.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Amarnath. That was a very, very, very enthusiastic welcome. Hello, good morning, and good afternoon to everyone from whichever part of the world you are joining. I am Ishita Patnaik, and I'll be the presiding officer for today. As Toastmaster Amarnath has already told, that the mission of Sattvic Toastmaster is to encourage public speaking, at the same time help you lead a healthy life. So, which are both important part of our life. Our main mission is promoting healthy lifestyle, self-healing, research and debate on alternate medicine, intercultural experience, where members from different parts of the world get a platform to safely discuss their views and opinions, interpersonal communication, storytelling, and critical thinking. So with this welcome, I would like to now ask all our guests about how did they hear about Toastmasters and Sattvic especially. I'd like to now go to Amrita Rungta. Can you please unmute and tell us a little bit about yourself and how you heard about Sattvic? Okay, you're having difficulty unmuting, I think. We'll go to our guest, Vanilla. Vanilla Kirtika, would you like to unmute and say how you found out about us and a little bit about yourself?
Good morning, everyone. I'm Vanilla from Pragati Toastmasters Club. I have joined the group TM Connect in WhatsApp and I got to know about this meeting. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vanilla. Wonderful to have you here. Then we go to our guest, Karunakar Paturu. Can you please unmute and share a little bit about yourself?
Hi, I'm Karunakar Paturu from Wipro-based Toastmasters Club. Again, the same case, I got the WhatsApp notification. So I have a free time, so just joined.
Thank you so much, Karunakar. It's wonderful to have you here. Then we have a guest called Toastmaster Mahesh. Are you a guest or a Toastmaster? Can you please unmute, Mahesh?
Hello everyone.
Hi.
I am Mahesh. I am from Pragati Toastmaster Club. I also joined. I got a notification from my WhatsApp. That's
Okay.
Thank
Thank you
you.
so much for joining us. Hope you have a great session. Adil, you join us again. Welcome. How are you doing?
Hello, good morning. I'm really glad that I got to join this meeting.
Okay, great. Then we have Aishwarya. It's so lovely to have so many guests. Can you please unmute to share
Hello, ma'am.
a little bit about yourself?
My name is Nidisha and I'm studying in Sri Chaitanya Techno School, Nolambur.
Oh, wonderful. How did you hear about us?
My father told me to join this and I liked him attending these sessions.
Okay, that's great. So do you like to call you Aishwarya or Nidisha?
My name is Nidisha.
Okay, it'll be great if you can rename your name. It shows Aishwarya currently.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, thank you so much, Nidisha, for joining us. Then we have Toastmaster Mary, who's joining us again. Welcome, Toastmaster Mary. And we have Toastmaster Jay, who's joining us after a long time. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you
for
so
joining.
much. Yeah, so
Thank you
without
very much.
further delay, we'll get the session started. So I'll take off my presiding officer hat and then wear the T-Mod hat for the session. Welcome once again. We are having a very exciting session today. The last session of the Health Awareness Month, we had some awesome sessions during the entire month, starting with the first session on cancer prevention. The second session was on dental health. The third session was on mental health, given by our very own Toastmaster Mary. And the final session of the month is going to be given by Dr. Anil Jain. So what a perfect end to a great month of building awareness among the audience. So I welcome all of you to the session. I'll now tell a little bit about a Toastmaster meeting. A Toastmaster meeting has three parts to it. The first part is usually a prepared speech, but because we have a keynote session, we are not going to have a prepared speech today. Then the second part will be a table topics, which will be led by Toastmaster Vikram. Then the third section will be the evaluation session, which will be head by our general evaluator, Toastmaster Afroz. So I'd like to now invite our general evaluator, Toastmaster Afroz, to speak about the evaluation section. Over to you, Toastmaster Afroz.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ishita. Good morning, everyone. As the general evaluator for today's session, my responsibility is to ensure that we have a constructive and enriching meeting experience. To help us in this, we have a wonderful team of role players. Timer Toastmaster Amarnath, our counter Toastmaster Sarika, grammarian Aniket Gupta, active listener Toastmaster Varun. They'll assist in monitoring various aspects of the meeting and provide valuable feedback. With that, let me hand the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ishita. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Afroz. We'll now continue with so before we continue with our keynote session, could you please invite each of the tag team and the listener to tell briefly about their role?
Sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Let me first invite Toastmaster Amarnath to introduce the timer rule.
Thank you
Over
very
to you,
much,
Toastmaster.
General Evaluator Afroz. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon to fellow Toastmasters and guests. So as the timer for today's meeting, my role is to ensure that every speaker stays within their allotted time. This helps us run the meeting smoothly and teaches us the valuable skill of expressing ourselves in the concise way. To assist with this, I'll use green card. Hope you are able to see my background, and yellow card and red card. So green card indicates the speaker has reached the minimum time allotted, and yellow card signals a speaker approaching the target time, and red card, the maximum time should be wrap up the speech. So today's keynote speaker is allotted with 25 minutes time. At 22 minutes, I'll show green. At 24 minutes, I'll show yellow, and 25 minutes, I'll show red. And for question and answer session, we have allotted 10 minutes. Similarly, for table topic, each speaker should wrap up their speech in 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I'll show green card. At 1 minute, 30 seconds, I'll show yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I'll show red card. For all these speeches, we have 30 seconds of buffer time. So everyone encouraged to speech your allotted speeches within the time. And for evaluation, we have 4 to 5 minutes for table topic evaluation. At 4 minutes, I'll show green card. At 4 minutes, 30 seconds, I'll show yellow card. At 5 minutes, I'll show red card. Thank you. Back to general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manad. Now let me invite our counter Toastmaster Sarika. Over to you, Toastmaster Sarika.
Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. I'm Sarika and I'm the accounter for this meeting. So the purpose of our counter is to note the words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause fillers by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I'll listen for overused words including and, but, so, like, and you know, and sound fillers such as and I'll also note when a person uses a word or a phrase unnecessarily. By the end of the meeting, I'll report number of times a person used these expressions. Now, instead of using filler words, I encourage you all to take a short pause. A healthy heart needs steady beats, and a strong speech needs steady pauses. So let's avoid filler words and speak with clarity. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarika. Now let me invite grammarian Toastmaster Aniket Gupta to share about his role. Over to you, Toastmaster Aniket.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Afroz. I am the grammarian for today, and my role will be to take a note of all the good and bad usages of the grammar, and also take a note of all the usages of the word of the day and the idiom of the day. I would like to introduce everyone to the word and the idiom of the day. The word of the day is adroit. Its meaning is clever or skillful. An example would be she is adroit at dealing with difficult situations. And the idiom of the day would be beat the clock. Its meaning is to succeed in something before the time is up. An example of this would be he tried to beat the clock to work this morning but failed and arrived late. So I would advise all the speakers to try to use the word of the day and the idiom of the day. And also whenever someone uses, I would also advise the audience that they can show like appreciation, like some thumbs up or some reaction like that, so that the speakers get encouraged. So, and I will present my report at the end of the meeting.
Thank you, Toastmaster Aniket.
Yeah.
I'd now like to invite listener role player Toastmaster Varun. Toastmaster Varun, over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster approach. Good morning, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. Today, I have the privilege of serving as your listener. This is my first role play at Toastmasters, and I'm very glad and excited to take on this responsibility. As a listener, my job is to pay close attention to everything that happens during the meeting, the speeches, table topics, and other role players, and then test your listening skills by the end of the section. Over to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Toastmaster Varun. So, like you heard just now, all of these role players will be presenting their reports later during the evaluation segment. With that, I now hand the stage back to our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Ishita. Over to you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Afros, for your adroit execution of the evaluation session. Now, before we go further, so that we don't have to beat the clock, let's get started with our keynote session. I will share the Toastmaster Amarnath. Can you please give sharing rights to Dr. Anil while I introduce him?
Sure.
Dr. Jain is the head of Global Medical Affairs for the Emerging Markets Business Unit at Dr. Reddy's Laboratories based in Hyderabad, India. He holds an MD in Internal Medicine from Maulana Azad Medical College, New Delhi, and has additional certifications in human research ethics and biostatistics from Johns Hopkins University, Baltimore, Maryland. With over 25 years of post-MD managerial experience, Dr. Jain has excelled in medical affairs, end-to-end disease management, new product assessment, clinical research, and pharmaceutical research and development. Today, he comes here with a very unique topic of Love Your Heart, Your Walk to Wellness. Please welcome Dr. Anil with a huge round of applause. Thank you so much for agreeing to come to our Sattvic Toastmasters and giving us this keynote session. Over to you, Dr. Anil.
Thank you, Ishita, for. Can you hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, wonderful. So thank you, Ishita, for the warm welcome. And it's a pleasure to be here in between all of you. I'm learning a lot of things. And I'm also, this is my first meeting where, there will be a grammarian, there will be a timer, there will be a listener, there will be an evaluator, and someone who would be evaluating even the filler words. So very, very pleased. Give me just a minute. Let me project my screen and then I will start. So is the screen visible to everyone, please?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So good morning, everyone. Let me start with a question. Look at this image and what do you see? Anyone can let me know.
See a heart built with Lego pieces.
Wonderful. So this is a heart made of Lego blocks. Just like these blocks, our heart is built piece by piece, day by day, by the choices we make. So today, we are going to talk about loving your heart, not just in the emotional sense, but in a very real, physical way. We'll explore and hopefully learn, at least in some way, how to take a walk to wellness together, making small, manageable, but consistent lifestyle changes that can lead to a lifetime of heart health. Now, let's get real for a moment. Cardiovascular disease, or sometimes what we call as CVD, is a global giant. It is the leading cause of death worldwide, accounting for a staggering 32% of all deaths. Look at these numbers, millions of lives lost each year, but these aren't just numbers. These are people, mothers, fathers, friends, and loved ones. And what's even more heartbreaking is that many of these deaths are premature and preventable. The good news is we can fight back. You have the power to change these statistics. CVD, guys, isn't just one thing. It is a collection of diseases affecting the heart and the blood vessels. Many of you would have probably heard of coronary heart disease, where the vessels supplying the heart muscle become narrowed. There is also cerebrovascular disease affecting the brain, and a similar phenomena when it happens and impacts the arms and legs, it's called peripheral arterial disease. Some people are also born with congenital heart defects, while other variants could include rheumatic heart disease. Understanding these different types is the first step in knowing how to protect ourselves. So, what puts us at risk for cardiovascular disease? Well, it's a mix of many factors. While some of them are social and environmental, for example, poverty, stress, air pollution, the more important ones are behavioral, such as unhealthy diet, lack of exercise, smoking, and excessive alcohol. And then there are medical factors which we're going to talk about in more detail in the subsequent slides, like high blood pressure, high blood sugar, and high cholesterol. So think of these as puzzle pieces. The more pieces that fit together, the higher the risk. But remember, we can remove some of these pieces and change the entire picture. So what are the symptoms and warning signs of cardiovascular disease? Our bodies are incredibly intelligent and often give us warning signs. For example, heart attacks the symptoms can include chest pain or discomfort, pain in the arm, jaw, or back, shortness of breath or breathlessness, nausea, and also excessive sweating. For stroke, remember the acronym FAST, F-A-S-T. F stands for face drooping, A stands for arm weakness, S stands for speech difficulty, and when you notice any of these or a combination, it is time for T, which is the time to call for help. If you or someone you know experiences these symptoms, do not delay. Seek immediate medical care because time is muscle and every second counts. Here's what we turn the tide. We can reduce the burden of CVD through key interventions. This includes controlling high blood pressure, diabetes, cholesterol levels. Medications like aspirin, beta blockers, and statins can play a vital role. We also have surgical interventions like coronary artery bypass grafting or angioplasty, which can restore the blood flow. And then there are medical devices like pacemakers that can help regulate heart rhythm. But remember, these are treatments, not cures. The real power lies in prevention. Let's zoom in into one major risk factor, hypertension or high blood pressure. It's often called the silent killer because it usually has no symptoms. But over time, it can damage your blood vessels, increasing the risk of heart attacks, strokes, and ultimately cardiovascular mortality. For a moment, imagine a garden hose with too much pressure perpetually. Eventually, it will weaken slowly and burst. That's what happens to our blood vessels with uncontrolled hypertension. The numbers are alarming. Globally, 1.28 billion people have hypertension. And shockingly, a large percentage of these individuals are not even aware that they have hypertension. This is why regular checkups are so important. Many cardiovascular diseases are silent, and you need to know your numbers, and these numbers could save your life. As I said earlier, high blood pressure is a silent killer. It doesn't usually cause symptoms, but it does damage our body over a period of time. If your blood pressure stays higher than 130 by 80 millimeter of mercury for a period of time, it can cause serious health problems such as heart disease, stroke, kidney, and even dementia. The only way to know whether you have high blood pressure is to have your blood pressure measured, a process that fortunately is very simple and painless. Now let's look what causes or what increases our risk for high blood pressure. And there are several types of risk factors, and ordinarily we divide them into modifiable risk factors and unmodifiable risk factors. For sake of this presentation, while I will talk about all the risk factors, in the subsequent discussion, we will focus on what is modifiable so that you can take practical interventions to reduce your risk for hypertension and hence cardiovascular disease. So, in some of the non-modifiable risk factors, we have age. Blood pressure tends to get higher as we get older, but it can affect many of us even when we are younger. High blood pressure also often runs in families, so there is a genetic component, although in totality, it is a complex multifactorial disease. When it comes to gender, before the age of 60, more men than women have high blood pressure. And after 60, it is women who have a higher prevalence versus men for blood pressure. Race and ethnicity also have an impact, and there are certain special races that have been known to be more prone to blood pressure. Most important addressable risk, which is modifiable, is what is induced by lifestyle habits. Eating too much salt, drinking too much alcohol, being obese, being overweight, smoking, and not getting enough exercise are some of those risk factors that exert a substantial impact and are very easily modifiable by small, consistent, but sustained lifestyle changes. So here is the encouraging part. It is never too late to start. And as Lao Tzu said, a journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. You don't have to make drastic changes overnight. Small, sustainable steps are the key. Whether you have high blood pressure or you are trying to prevent it, lifestyle changes can make a huge difference. So, what steps that are those that you can take to lower your blood pressure? First of all, get your blood pressure measured and set your targets. Work with your doctor to determine what is the healthy blood pressure number for you. Second, take control. Make lifestyle changes like eating healthy, staying active, and watching your weight. If you smoke, quitting can help prevent heart disease and other complications of high blood pressure. It is important to work together. Studies also show that you are more likely to succeed if you have support from your friends, from your family, from your community. Let's now talk a little bit about food. A diet low in sodium and saturated fat can be as effective as medicine in lowering blood pressure. So now, how do you lower sodium in your diet? You should know that all processed food, all preserved food contain an excessive amount of salt because sodium chloride acts as a preservative. And what are saturated fat? There are many kinds of fats. You have saturated fat, you have unsaturated fat, you have polyunsaturated fatty acids. A very simple way to understand what is good and what is not good is to remember that all those fats which are liquid at room temperature are much better than those which solidify. And then there are fats in between which would be liquid, which would be in a liquid state, during summers at room temperature. However, they were solidified during winters. These are intermediate. So some of the good, fats which contain very little amount of saturated fat are oils like olive oil, avocado oil, and you can preferentially use these oils in your diet. If you do not like the taste to begin with, you can use a portion of them and slowly make an attempt to increase the portion that you use. Add one fruit and lot of vegetables to every meal that you take. Completely avoid processed food and junk food. If you are eating fast food, choose a salad instead of fries. Reduce your meat consumption. And if you are a non-vegetarian and would want to have meats, focus on meats that contain low fat. Another important thing is that you can commit to one salt-free day a week, and during that day, you can use herbs for flavoring instead of salt. So these are some simple measures with which you can start eating healthy. The second important thing is the fact that movement is the medicine. Aim for at least 2.5 hours of physical activity a week. That's just 30 minutes a day. 5 days a week, invite a colleague for regular walks. Take the stairs instead of the elevator. Play outside with your kids, with your friends. March in place while watching television. Find ways to incorporate movement into your daily life. The most effective way to bring in movement into your daily life is to weave it into what you do every day. For example, simple things like if you work close to your home, instead of taking your car, walk to your office. If you are, if you're living, let's say, on the third floor, instead of the elevator, take the stairs. And you could do that in your office also. Another important thing is aiming for a healthy weight. Even losing a small amount of weight, just about 3 to 5%, can tremendously improve your blood pressure. If you weigh about, let's say, 100 kgs, that's just about 6 kilos. Start a weight loss journey, preferably with a buddy. Sign social support agreements with family members or friends. Most importantly, stay put. Accountability is the key. When you are consistent, even with small steps like Kaizen, you make a dramatic change over a period of life. So guys, stress can contribute to high blood pressure and other heart risks. If it goes on for a long time, it can make your body store more fat. Practice mindfulness meditation for just 10 minutes a day. Share a funny video or an inspirational quote with a friend. Talk to your doctor if you are having trouble managing stress on your own. Another important thing is to stop smoking. So those of you who smoke should stop smoking. I know this is a tough one, but the chemicals in tobacco smoke are incredibly harmful to your heart and to the blood vessels. In fact, beyond the cardiovascular disease, the tobacco smoke and the chemicals which it contains, wherever they go in the body, they actually do harm. Maybe some of you should know that tobacco smoke, it gets absorbed from the lungs, goes into the blood vessels, is filtered by the kidneys, and then goes into the urine and urinary bladder, and there it can increase the incidence or the occurrence of even bladder carcinoma. So it just not only affects the heart and the lungs and the blood vessels, anywhere in the body it goes, it does a harm. So quitting is hard, but it's possible. Plan your quitting journey, sign for a support group, Manage your cravings with distractions, with healthy habits, and you can also choose nicotine replacement therapy, which is not the safest, but a much safer way versus tobacco smoke to help you aid in quitting. So, changing your perception of how and what you eat makes a huge difference. Use smaller plates to help limit portion sizes. Chew slowly and practice mindful eating, which means really think about and perceive the feel, taste, texture, and flavors of what you eat. Some very wise person has said that you should literally drink the solid food that you eat, which means you should chew it so much that when you swallow, you are essentially drinking the food that you have eaten, the solid food. Here are some more tips on healthy eating. Commit to a resolution that you will eat a balanced diet that includes vegetables, fruits, whole grains, and is low or free of fat products, including dairy products. Add seafood, lean meats, poultry, beans, egg whites, unsalted nuts for proteins. Limit, as I said earlier, the three deadliest components in your diet are the three S's: saturated fat, sodium, and sugars. So please limit the intake of these three S's. When selecting lean meats, it's also important to consider the cooking methods. Grilling, baking, steaming, broiling, they are healthier options than fried meat. So grill, steam, or bake instead of frying, and flavor with spices, not with sauces. Healthy eating does not mean that you can't dine out. Rather, you can choose to dine out the healthy way. You can eat healthy in restaurants. For example, control your portion size by eating half of your food and take the rest half home for another meal. Limit calories by choosing foods that are broiled, baked, or roasted, not fried. Ask for low sodium options from the menu. Ask for butter, gravy, sauces, and salad dressing to be given separately on the side and leave them off. There are no good excuses for staying active, and you can get active throughout the day. So now we are moving from healthy habits to being active to exercise. Take walks at work instead of having a sitting coffee break. Just do more of what you already love. For example, it could be biking, it could be dancing, it could be gardening, because everything that you do in which you move your body counts. Choose activities that suit your style, that suit your liking, and that suit your preference. While some people like to exercise alone, others benefit from the support of a group class or team sports. Whether indoors or outdoors, find what works for you, and you are the best judge in this. Get your most vigorous physical activity at the time of the day when you feel most energetic, so that you will stick to it. It will weave into your day-to-day routine, and there is a much more probability that you will endure it and enhance your compliance on a long-term basis. I want to stress again here, it is not the quantum, but it is the consistency that matters. The way quality scores over quantum, consistency scores over quantum. It is much better to do just 30 minutes every day than to do 2 hours in a single day and leave it for the next 3, 4 days. A typical exercise program, which we would call as complete, has 3 types of activities. So any exercise can either help you enhance your stamina, your strength, or your flexibility. I guess there is a question.
No, that's
No.
not a question. That's just the timer reminder. You can please go ahead.
Okay. Okay. So this is the green reminder.
Yes, yes.
Right.
Okay. So maybe I'll have to go a little faster. So what I would say is that you could do aerobic exercise, which actually is the exercise which increases your heart rate and therefore builds stamina. You could do resistance training, which builds muscle strength. And then there are exercises that will increase your flexibility. And yoga is the best example here. Also, one of the most empowering things that you can do is to monitor your blood pressure at home. It's easy to do, and it gives you valuable basic information. And in this slide, I show how you will be able to measure blood pressure using an automatic blood pressure measuring instrument at home, and then monitor how you are doing. Lastly, let's bring it all together. We've talked about the risks of heart disease, but more importantly, we've talked about what you can do to protect yourself. It all starts with a decision to prioritize your heart health. And what better way to do that than by taking a walk to wellness? The ancient Greek physician Hippocrates said, walking is man's best medicine. And believe me, modern research continues to validate this wisdom. Walking has proven health benefits of tremendous magnitude, yet most adults don't walk enough. The World Health Organization recommends that you should walk 10,000 steps a day. It might sound like a lot, but it's achievable with small incremental steps. Guys, the good thing about walking is that it's a low impact, universally accessible exercise. It requires no or minimal equipment and has a very low injury risk. It improves cardiovascular health, reduces anxiety, depression, supports bone and muscle strength, and improves cognitive function. It's a win-win-win. So I would say, and I actually challenge you to make a resolution. Decide to walk 10,000 steps daily. Begin your walk to wellness. Start the daily walk routine. Start with what you find doable and slowly increase and escalate to achieve 10,000 steps. And I assure you that you will easily reach the daily step goal. So remember, your heart is the engine of your life. Take care of it, and it will take care of you. And I hope that this talk inspires you to take those small first steps on your walk to wellness. And now I think I'll be happy to answer any questions that you may have.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anil, for this very comprehensive session on heart health. We'll now stop your sharing of your screen. Is that okay?
So let me stop that, and I may want to share it again.
Okay, sure.
So
You can keep it on. So we'll now open the floor for any questions for Dr. Anil. You can please raise your hand and we'll take it one by one. So let me start with my question that has always bothered me, Dr. Anil. Is coconut good for the heart or not so good? There is so much debate always about coconut, whether you should not eat it when you have a heart problem. But what is your advice on that?
Okay, before I go to your specific question, I think what I would like to say here is that, I would like to quote actually one of the basic principles of Buddhism, which is the principle of middle path. And what it means is that there are healthy foods, there are healthy habits, but when anything which is done in excessively, anything which shifts to the extreme, the healthy things actually transcends into what will become unhealthy. So what I would say is that eating coconut in moderation is certainly a good thing. In fact, of course, the coconut has several parts, and especially the coconut water is very healthy because it is rich in electrolytes, and especially in summers, the way what we're going through now, it's very, very healthy and advisable to have coconut water. Even the even the coconut portions are healthy as long as they are taken in moderation. Coconut oil, I would say, is somewhere in between the best oils like the avocado oil, the soybean oil, the olive oil, and the much more fats like which are solid, which are full of saturated fats. So it is somewhere in between, and therefore it should be used in moderation.
Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Jain, for that. We have one question from Toastmaster Amarnath. Can you, unmute and
Sure.
ask a question?
Thank you, Ishita, for the opportunity. Thank you very much, Anil. So it's really insightful information. But I have one question, and currently there is a notion in the world, like after COVID vaccination, so the rate of heart attacks are increasing. Is that true? It's a myth, or can you throw some light on it?
So, very, 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 very good question, Amarnath, first of all. Now, I will answer it because with the fact that you have to understand everything has to be interpreted not on a standalone basis, but in the context in which it operates. Okay. So there are two contexts, and I'll talk about both of them. So first of all, lot of large studies that have retrospectively evaluated those who have suffered COVID-19 or those who have also taken COVID-19 vaccine, and a large amount of evidence, even though there are some, let's say some contradictory studies, but a very large amount of evidence points towards the fact that both COVID-19 as well as COVID-19 vaccination increase the risk of cardiovascular diseases by a small quantum. Okay. So, and the reason for this is very simple. The underlying cause for any disease, including cardiovascular disease, in our body is inflammation. And even a stress can cause inflammation. So chronic stress leads to inflammation within the body, and inflammation in turn cascades a process in which the vessels get the vessels get layered with inflammatory mediators and their byproducts, and also fat and lipids, which narrow them and therefore reduce the blood flow and can cause cardiovascular disease. Now, understand this that the risk which it entails is small. And at the time of the COVID-19 epidemic or pandemic, this risk was nothing versus the risk which the disease itself was assigning to mankind. Therefore, it was not wrong to get individuals vaccinated on a mass scale in order to take care of the larger risk. But yes, it comes with a smaller risk on a long-term basis, which is what we're talking about. And put it in a very simple way. Think of it like a medicine. Medicine will cure the disease or treat the disease or manage the disease, prevent complications, improve quality of life, but they do come with a risk of side effects. So nothing is free. So that's what I would say.
Thank you.
So next question is by Toastmaster Afroz. He raised his hand, so you can unmute and ask a question, Toastmaster Afroz.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ishita. Doctor, why are we witnessing a rise in heart attacks among young and seemingly healthy individuals, including athletes and gym goers? For example, recent
Understood.
cases such as the sudden deaths of cricketer Vijay Patel and a 52-year-old man in Jabalpur during workouts highlight this disturbing trend. Please help us understand.
Okay. Many reasons for that, Afroz. And again, this is a very good question. Many reasons for that. However, what I would assign maximum weightage to, and there can always be many reasons, and I think the way I like to proceed, at least when I give a public talk, I'd like to emphasize and stress in a manner which strategizes and prioritizes. So I think the most important thing that I would put focus on is, and then I will come and address some other things also, is uh, the tremendous lifestyle change that we have undergone, that mankind has undergone, versus what our bodies were originally built for. So you go back to the times of the prehistoric times when human beings were hunter-gatherers and nomads. There was a lot of activity, in our daily life. In fact, we did not have food security. In fact, food security that we have today is also the biggest, happens to be the biggest contributor to the evolution of our intelligence, also happens to be the biggest contributor to the ills that we are facing. Because uh, our lifestyle has completely changed. It has become sedentary. Day in, day out, we are working sitting. Sitting, as many say, is the new smoking. And, the kind of food that we eat, because we can get anything and everything whenever we want, is the one which we like, and the one and human beings like sins more than anything else. So I think those are the contributors. We are not exercising. We do not have an active lifestyle. We go to office in our car. We don't walk. So all of these things have contributed to the rise of cardiovascular diseases at a fundamental level. Now, the second part of your question, which you did not explicitly say, but was implicit in it, is the fact that we are also seeing many athletes, many active, individuals suffering from this. Now, remember that while major cardiovascular disease burden is driven by a certain set of things, there are other contributors also. So, for example, sometimes there are genetic components which influence, how you will dispose and how you may get impacted by by cardiovascular diseases. There are a lot of other things also. It is also important how the person is managing any risk factor which he or she may have. So, for example, in my presentation, I did not explicitly talk about diabetes, but we did touch base upon controlling sugar or managing, sugar intake. So there are people who have diabetes, and today the science says that having diabetes ascribes a risk level to a person which is as significant as someone who has already had a heart attack. So diabetes is now considered as a coronary heart disease equivalent, even if nothing has happened. And remember that the paradox of diabetes is that 50% of diabetics know that they are diabetics. 50% of those who know are treated. 50% of those who are treated are adequately treated. 50% of those who are adequately treated are controlled. And 50% of those who are controlled are actually given treatments for complications. So out of 100, just about 6.25% of diabetes patients are managed holistically in a healthcare system in the right way. And that, of course, ascribes an additional risk beyond what you see from lifestyle changes and beyond what you see even if the routine is active. The third important thing that we have to understand is that we are living in an age of information revolution. whatever happens in any nook or corner of the world, anyone can come to know in the age of, Instagram, Twitter, or whatever. I'm not a social media fan, by the way, so I don't know the right names. But the information is traveling faster than the speed of light. So a lot of things which we were not cognizant of, which we were not recognizing, which we were not becoming aware of, is now coming to the front foot because we have access to information at our fingertips. So it is not just also. I do not disagree with the fact that occurrences are increasing, but I also want to ascribe a component of this increment to the fact that we are recognizing more. So I think that's what my answer would be.
I have a follow-on question.
Please.
Could you, rightly said, information, is so widely spread, and so I believe it is a good thing that we are getting to know the instances so that we could be better informed and better prepared. Getting to question, can you explain the difference between a heart attack and cardiac arrest, and how should one respond to each?
Okay.
And you mentioned fast strategy. So what are the early signs, before that that the individuals should be vigilant about, and what sort of remedy? Because these days we see a lot of viral videos where they say these 4 medicines should always be kept at home, and immediately as soon as you get this heart attack, you can put it in the mouth of the patient. So if you could shed some light. Thank you.
Okay, good questions. I hope that I will remember the second question by the time I answer the first question. So, but let me start in that sequence. Your first question was the difference between cardiac arrest and heart attack. This is a very, very good question because most people misinterpret it. Most common people misinterpret it. Cardiac arrest is an end result. Cardiac arrest means the heart stops beating. It is an end result, it is an outcome, and almost any disease can cause it. So, for example, if there is a patient who has had fulminant infection, systemic infection, he doesn't have any heart disease, he may actually die of cardiac arrest because when he dies because of the infection, it is the heart which has stopped working. It is an end result. It is an outcome. The way, death is defined in different ways. There could be death of the heart. There could be death of the brain. So in countries where death is defined by death of the heart or stopping of the heart, this is what cardiac arrest is. Heart attack, which in technical term is called myocardial infarction, is actually a disease in itself, which is preventable, which is manageable, which is addressable. And how does myocardial infarction happen? As I said, risk factors like blood pressure, inflammation, diabetes, high lipid levels, they affect the entire body. They affect the blood vessels of the entire body. But what are the most critical parts of our body? It is the heart, because if the heart gets affected, the person will die. And it is also the brain. If the brain gets affected, the person may or may not die, but will become vegetative or non-productive substantially. That is why the process which happens in the blood vessels which supply the heart or the brain is most important and most critical. And when blood supply to the heart stops, either at a state of rest or in a state of exercise or exertion, the heart muscles start paining, and that's why chest pain with a specific scheme of radiation to the left arm or to the neck or to jaw is a classical early sign of heart attack. However, as part of this process, the body, because it's very intelligent, it's incredibly intelligent, it tries to enhance the blood flow to the heart through collaterals. However, if that process is not sufficient, a small part or even a large part of the heart muscle will die. And this is what leads to myocardial infarction, commonly known as heart attack. And this means that a specific section of the wall of one's heart has now become dead. Once that section of the heart becomes dead, it cannot be regenerated. It is a permanent damage. And if this happens again and again, a large part of heart will become dysfunctional and will not be able to perform its functions, will not be able to pump the blood which the body needs. So myocardial infarction is typically heart attack, and it is possible that myocardial infarction, if it is a massive one, if it is a substantial one, it eventually leads to stopping of the heart, which will be a cardiac arrest. However, other causes can also lead to stopping of the heart, and those causes could be related to the cardiovascular system, could also be outside of the cardiovascular system. So that's, I think, my response to part one of your question, or the first question. The second question, you talked about FAST strategy and how do we recognize symptoms. Okay, so FAST stands for F is face drooping. Okay, arm weakness is A, and speech difficulty, slurring of speech is S. And T, of course, is time to call, which means it is time to call for help. These are early signs of stroke. However, what everyone should remember is that stroke or myocardial infarctions, these are catastrophic events. They happen in a short period of time. Even if you recognize the early signs, while you can act and you can do an intervention, and there are interventions available, at least in the ecosystem in which we live, even the implementation of these, simple interventions, because of lack of awareness, because of lack of knowledge, because of lack of facilities, because of lack of infrastructure, can be a challenge, can be a problem. And by the way, I'm not trying to put down the ecosystem that we have. I'm really fond of that, but there are practical challenges. So early signs of stroke would be that someone starts showing slurring of speech, someone starts showing a subdued cognition. There is slowness in responses. There is, greater amount of time taken to recognize one's own kins. Slight weakness is felt either in one of the arms or one of the legs, and typically stroke symptoms are unilateral, so they happen on one side of the body. That's because the left brain controls the right side and the right brain controls the left side, and whichever brain is impacted by stroke, the contralateral or the opposite side of the body gets impacted in first in the strength, and then it can also get affected in sensation. And then because one side of the body gets affected, the face may droop on the affected side, which means that when the person chews or swallows, you can see an unusual stretching of the other side, but this one is emotionless. These are the early signs. But again, I would say more important than the early signs, it's important to recognize early signs so that early interventions can take place. But more important than that is the fact that we focus on what causes stroke, and that requires certain things. That requires implementing a healthy lifestyle, that requires regular checkups, that requires knowing your numbers, that requires knowing your risk factors in terms of what my blood sugar is, what my lipid profile is, what my blood pressure is, and how I can keep them under control so that I don't even reach the stage of having early signs. So I hope I've answered both the questions and not forgotten anything out of which you asked.
Just the last part, the immediate remedy for mitigation as a first aid, the 4 medicines that people talk about.
Okay, so I think I will focus on heart attack because stroke is a little complicated. Stroke is of different types, and there can be thrombotic stroke, hemorrhagic stroke, and yeah, there could be an infarct. I'll focus on heart attack. I think when it comes to heart attack, the best and the you know the simplest and the most economical, the most effective one is to keep aspirin, because as what aspirin will do is that it will dissolve any clots which might have been there in the blood, and therefore, at least to a certain extent, uh, improve the blood flow and prevent at least some portions of the impacted part from dying. So when a myocardial infarction or heart attack happens, there is a section of the muscle which dies. There is a section around it which we call as penumbra, which is in a state of trance, which is stunned. It has not died, but if you don't do anything, it will die. And the purpose is to because whatever has died, we cannot regenerate that. So purpose is to limit this penumbra of stunned heart muscle, and therefore limit the long-term complications, therefore limit the impact of the disease. So aspirin, I would say, is one of them. Nitroglycerin or sorbitrate is another one which can improve the blood flow. It acts by a different mechanism because it kind of dilates the blood vessels and can improve the blood flow. Other than this, there are other medications which can ascribe a survival benefit to the patient. One of them, the first one which came were beta blockers. They came long time back, probably about 25 years back, did very large clinical studies and demonstrated benefit of that. Those who take beta blockers have a 34% less probability of dying versus those who do not. And then there are ACE inhibitors or angiotensin converting enzyme inhibitors. However, I would say that these are not interventions which are intended for mass public usage on our own, because they have a risk benefit profile which needs to be taken into consideration before being blindly used. Aspirin can typically be blindly used in general for anyone. In fact, even if you give it to someone who is suspecting of having a heart attack but doesn't ultimately eventually turn out to be a heart attack, that's also fine. It doesn't ascribe a huge amount of risk. However, beta blockers and ACE inhibitors that have certain risks associated, so I wouldn't recommend them for blind public use by non-medical folks. Of course, the important thing is the most important thing as we move from non-medical use to medical use is what we call as thrombolytic therapy. And thrombolytic therapy is typically administered in a hospital because it's an injectable intervention administered via infusion over a period of time. And there is a time window within which it remains beneficial. If that time window is crossed, it loses its beneficial impact. So thrombolytic therapy has to be instituted early, but it requires diagnosis to be made before it can be given. It is expensive. It has risks associated with it if it is given to a misdiagnosed patient. Therefore, it can only be administered after a diagnosis has been made. And because the confirmatory diagnosis will be made in a hospital, the best thing that a non-medical person can do is to take the patient to the hospital, get the diagnosis done, and get the thrombolytic therapy administered. Thrombolytic therapy, there are several options like streptokinase, alteplase, and there are many others. Any of these can be given. In countries, in some of the countries with a very good healthcare infrastructure like Scandinavia or Netherlands, most of the Scandinavian countries, there is a matrix based on which the efficiency of the healthcare system for cardiovascular disease is evaluated, and it's called call to needle time. And call to needle time is defined as when a patient or a caregiver calls the emergency, and till the time the needle of the thrombolytic agent is actually inserted into the patient for administering thrombolysis. And in good healthcare systems, the benchmark for call to needle time is 30 minutes. So what it means is in 30 minutes, after the patient receiving the patient's call, ambulance has to take the patient to the hospital, diagnosis has to be made, and thrombolytic therapy has to be administered. So
Thank you so much for the detailed explanation, Dr. Jain. Essentially, what you mentioned, what we need to keep the over-the-counter medicine is, one is aspirin, the other is
sorbitrate.
Sorbitrate. These two we have to just immediately put in the patient's mouth when they have a heart attack.
Yeah, sorbitrate has to be both have to be administered and put under the tongue.
Under the tongue. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Afroz, and thank you so much, Dr. Anil, for answering the question. You were saying something?
I think there's one more hand. I don't know whether it is for the time or for for a question.
Yeah. So this is the last question we'll take from you, Toastmaster Noor, because we have to beat the clock and we have to.
Absolutely,
go ahead.
Madam President.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Do we have time? Otherwise, I can speak to Dr. Anil privately. That's not a problem. I have a personal question. We can speak
I think
later.
Maybe we speak separately.
Sure.
I wanted to show one more slide, and I'll take just 1 minute. I think
sure.
The slide sharing would need to be enabled.
Yeah, it's done.
Okay, thank you. So I think we were here when we last left. Can you see the slide, please?
Yes.
Okay, so what I want to say is that this is a slide which is more like the what I would say is the after credits kind of scheme from which I borrowed from the Marvel movies. So what some of a few things that I would like to say, which you should take home from today's interaction. I think 7 key steps to live a healthy living, to live a healthy life. Healthy eating, we talked in detail about that. Maintain your hydration. It's very important. Water is the natural, cleanser of the body. You should have at least 2 to 2.5 liters of water every day. Exercise, we talked about it in detail. Some of the other things that I want to emphasize, which were not a part of the presentation, adequate sleep. WHO recommends that you should have 7 hours of sleep. You can customize it to your requirement, but it should at least be 6 hours. And for some people may also require up to 8 hours. Regular checkups, especially to identify silent diseases like diabetes, hypertension, high cholesterol. We touched briefly upon mindfulness. We talked about mindful eating. What is important is that state of being content, state of being happy, and state of being appreciative contributes to healthy living. In addition to diet, exercise, sleep, hydration. Therefore, I recommend that you practice mindfulness and indulge in practicing gratitude, move from self-interest to selfless interest. I know we cannot help everyone, but everyone can help somebody. So find opportunities to help others, and it will give you a satisfaction, which will give you happiness, which will contribute to your healthy living. And I think that's all. I think I have not been adroit enough to beat the clock. But I thank you all for giving me the opportunity and for the patient listening. I really appreciate.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anil, for your detailed presentation as well as the detailed answers to all our questions. Due to we wish we could be here for longer and we could ask all the questions, but we have to beat the clock and move ahead. So I would like to really appreciate your presence in our Sattvic meeting. And thank you so much, Dr. J. Kumar, for giving us your contact so that we could invite you in our meeting. So we would like to present you with a certificate of recognition for presenting at our meeting. So I would like to please Zoom master spotlight 3 of us so that we could take a picture with him.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, it's already spotted.
Yeah. Yeah. So we would like to take a picture. Can you please take it, Amarnath?
Sure. Give me one second. Yeah, I'm taking this picture. Yeah, it's done.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Now we'll go to the gallery view. And Amarnath again, if you can remove the certificate and come on camera. I request all of you to please come on camera so that we could take a picture. Whoever it's possible, we do come on camera. We could take a picture with Dr. Anil. And if possible, add a heart as your symbol. So Amarnath, can you please take a picture?
Sure. Yeah, may I request everyone turn on camera? All right, taking the picture. Keep smiling. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anil. We request you to, if possible, for you to stay through the entire meeting, if at all it is possible. And otherwise, thank you so much for coming to our session. Greatly, we are very
Yeah, the
grateful.
pleasure. Yeah, Ishita, I think I should call you Toastmaster Ishita. I think it was a pleasure. And I think I would say the pleasure was all mine. I am so impressed by all the questions of practical relevance that the attendees asked. I will stay for a few minutes more, but I would also like to ask for something in return. And what that is you have those 5 evaluators, grammarian, timer, R counter, and listener. So I would like to take some feedback from them whenever the time is appropriate.
Yeah, so that would be in the end of towards the end of the meeting. It would be great if you can stay with us, if time permits for you. And I encourage all of you to stay. We have a very exciting table topic section that's going to happen very soon. And we have a good number of guests here, and all guests will get opportunity to interact. We are already running a little behind schedule. So I'd like to now hand over the stage to Toastmaster Vikram, who's the table topic master of the day, to please start the table topic section. Over to you, Toastmaster Vikram.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ishita, and what a lovely session. Thank you, Dr. Anil, for this enlightening session today. And I'll be the table topics master for today. So I will introduce you to the table topic section. First of all, thank you everyone for joining us and good afternoon. I'm Vikram and the table topic section that we have now enables you to develop the skills of impromptu speaking. Table topics help you train, organize your thoughts and express your thoughts quickly in a short duration of time. You can think of a table topic speech as a mini speech. So it will also have an opening and a body and a conclusion. And why we are doing this? Because this provides an opportunity for the guests and other speakers who are not giving their speeches to speak during the meeting. And any member is welcome to pick up any topic that I will be providing. And anyone who wishes to participate can be both guests as well as members. So the criteria is a speaker, once he is given a table topic, has to speak for 2 minutes. Okay, so there will be the timer will be showing you the green card at the time of at the 2 minutes and sorry at 1 minute, and then it'll be an yellow card at the time of 1.3 minutes, and then at 2 minutes you'll be given a red card. So you should conclude your speech before that, and if you cross the red card, then you will be disqualified. Okay, and then please make sure to use the word of the day, which is adroit. And yeah, let's go to the table topics. First, I want some volunteers. Who wants to go first? Anyone from the guest?
Yeah, I have raised myself as
Saravanan Kumar. So can I give the give me the presentation rights, Keynote?
Sure.
Yeah. I'm presenting my screen. So can you choose a number from 1 to which number you want? Yeah, just tell me a number. I will.
Number 2.
All right. I think already number 1 is visible anyway. So let me go to number 2. So this is your topic. Is mental health more important than physical health? Is mental health more important than physical health, Shravan Kumar?
Vikram, please stop sharing when the screen topic has been.
All right. Yeah. Yeah, go ahead, Shravan.
Hello, fellow Toastmasters. Mental health. This is what whenever we wake up in the morning, if you feel like this, then throughout the day, you will feel that you are less energetic. But just when you are waking it up, think about this way. Yes, today is the day that I was given the opportunity by God. Obviously, we need to pray whenever we wake up. And then you will start feeling that energy throughout the day. But the question here is that, is it better than physical health? So what do you mean by physical health? That we probably need to understand more in this case. Physical health, before getting into the physical health, just to like to give the point over here is that physical health as well as mental health both needs to be in tandem. However, the physical health is more you to move from one place to another place. But even if you want to give that movement, but your mental health, your mental stability needs to be intact. Otherwise, even your physical health or your physical movement also, it won't allow you. That is the beauty of your mental health. So that's why we need to, as Daniel was mentioning about, be mindful, right? Be mindful and meditation, all these things, and doing certain kind of yoga, which provides you the mental stability and focus and concentration, which these things makes you the more powerful, even for your physical health as well. So with that, I would like you to practice meditation, yoga, and other mindful activities. You will see the beauty on it, and make a goal every day that at least start with 7 minutes or 5 minutes of meditation. You will see the wonder down the line. With that, over to you. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Saravana Kumar. Yes, Saravana Kumar, for that wonderful take on the topic. Yes, I also agree with you. Both mental as well as physical health are equally important. Now, next, I can see quite a few number of hands raised. Let me take Toastmaster Manoj Kumar for the next topic. So Sarana Kumar, can you put down your hands if you're done? Yeah. So next is the top. Which number you want to choose, Toastmaster Manoj?
I'll go with number 1.
Okay, number 1. The topic is, what does health is wealth mean to you? What does health is wealth mean to you, Toastmaster Manoj Kumar?
In my initial years, I used to think wealth is everything. I was more worried about how much bank balance I have. Yes, with a 30,000 a month in 2096, I was worried when I reached that figure of 1 lakh in my bank balance after taking care of all my expenditure. But later on, I found I was unable to walk properly during the winters. I have a broken bone. In my backbone, there's a crack. And every winter, I used to limp and walk. Later on, in my 40s, when I took a pause to ponder, I found I need to invest on my health. All the wealth in the world cannot repair my broken bone. That's what doctor said. So then I started investing in myself by exercising, by meditating, by all kind of those ancient systems that India stands for, that I applied in my life. And then, lo and behold, I'm healthy, happy, and I think I'm the most richest person in the world. Why? I feel my life is filled with joy and happiness. What else do I require? The ultimate aim of our existence is health and happiness. And that's what I have now. And that's what I radiate throughout in my existence. So that's why I say it is not wealth, but health is the most important thing. And when you talk about health, it is both mental health and the physical health. Synchronous of that, a symphony will form, and you are going to enjoy that symphony, leading your life till you exit. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Manoj, for wonderful take on this topic. I agree with you. Health is important, and health is our wealth, right? That's true. And next we have Shravan Kumar raising his hand. So do you want to choose a number between 3 to 15? Which number?
I'll go with 7, Toastmaster.
Number 7. Okay. Number 7 is, should workplaces offer mandatory wellness programs? Should workplaces offer mandatory wellness programs, Shravan Kumar?
Fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests, my straight answer is yes. In fact, it is same for you also, the same answer you also expect, because health is wealth. A previous topic was about, if companies don't invest on the health of employees, its wealth will deteriorate. The progress will go towards negative side. This is a proven concept across the world. It's not only in our country. Because of that, most of the companies invest on as part of employee benefits, the health wellness programs. Being a TCSer, I really love the TCS initiatives, especially on employee health benefits. They're encouraging various programs to bring out the best health in the employees. The reason is, when you are healthy, a healthy mind will give a healthy results. So a sound mind lives in a sound body. That is the saying. So according to that saying, I strongly believe that a healthy employees can build a healthy company. Because the main purpose of a human existence itself is to live healthy and happy. Is there any other goal, even if it is for the richest person in this world or the poorest person in this world? The day, the moment they wake up, their objective is to live. How can I live happily? If we look at a human species, how can I live happily? So that process, whether you are doing in an organization or out of organization, the health and happiness are the primary mottos of human life. So over to you, Topics Master. That's my
Thank you. Thank you, Shravan Kumar, for taking that topic. And yeah, I understand. Even I am a corporate employee. So I totally agree that companies should invest on the wellness programs for employees. Thank you for that. And next, we will choose someone from the guest. Let me go ahead with guest Nidisha now. So Nidisha, what is the number you want to choose?
I select the number 4.
All right, number 4. So the topic you have is, if you could invent a new healthy food, what would it be? If you could invent a new healthy food, what would it be? Nidisha.
So everybody used to tell that if we eat more healthy food, that may turn into unhealthy. So if we invent a new healthy food, we can mix some of the healthy as well as the unhealthy to make it what to say, like a new healthy food. And yeah, so eat that should be eaten less to be healthy, and we should not eat more quantity of that. Mm. Then
What's your favorite healthy food?
some kinds of salad. So in salad we have so many varieties, fruits, vegetables, and few many others. I'm fond of pasta and other healthy foods. Yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Nidisha, for taking that topic. And next, we will have again a guest, Vanilla. Which number you want to choose? Guest Vanilla.
Number 13.
Number 13. All right. So number 13 is, if you could only do one healthy activity every day, what would you pick? If you could do only one healthy activity every day, what would you pick? Guest Vanilla.
Yeah, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Toastmaster Vanilla. If I could do one healthy activity every day, that would be walking. Because I'm not fond of exercises and I'm sure I cannot do it for a long time. So I daily walk a lot. My college, I walk at my college a lot. So I think walking is a best exercise when you don't know what to do. Like I cannot exercise more. So it boosts our energy, it gives us strength. And after I like traveling a lot and I like trekking. So when I want to trek on something, this walking helped me. Let me share an experience from my past. There is a town near my area. It's called Vanjangi. So we need to trek to go there. At that time, I couldn't be able to walk properly. Like I felt like my legs were breaking. I don't know how to do. But after walking, I again went on a trek to Lambasingi, a village near that Vanjangi. And this walking helped me to climb that mountain better than the last time. I did better than before. I think I can walk every day than exercise something. Thank you.
All right, that's a great take on that topic. Thank you, Toastmaster Vanilla. So next we'll have another guest. We have guest Mahesh. Would you like to go for it? Guest Mahesh, would you like to take the next topic?
Yes, sir.
What is your number?
As your wish, sir. You can give any question.
Okay, I'll give you number 12. What is one health myth you believed and later debunked? What is one health myth that you believed and later debunked? Guest Mahesh.
Can you repeat once, sir?
Okay, what is one health myth? Anything that you thought is true and later you thought it's not true about health?
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. Mm, I believe that exercise and taking the good food, vegetables and fruits in summer days. So we have to drink water, more amount of water, and taking the uh, fruits and vegetables that may helpful to our healthy. We have to exercise daily.
Yes, go ahead, Mahesh.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, all right, thank you so much. Next, we'll move on to the next guest, who is guest Jay Kumar. Jay Kumar, would you like to go for it? Okay, and we have guest Adil Shaikh. Adil Shaikh, you want to go for it?
Sorry, it took me time to unmute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah,
guest
I
Jay
can
Kumar.
take
What
up,
is the number you want to choose?
I think 15 if it is not taken.
15 is there, yeah. Describe your ideal healthy lifestyle in 5 years. Describe your ideal healthy lifestyle in 5 years. Toastmaster Jay Kumar.
Thank you. It's really a great question. So ideally, like I think it was narrated in very well manner by last slide, post credit slide of Dr. Anil, and many of those things I also believe. So if I would, and I keep asking such question to many people that what their ideal day would look like. So out of ideal day, if we exclude work, what will be the healthy routine which I would like? So then in those part, mainly I would include my diet, also mindfulness meditation, and some amount of physical activity, at least 30 to 40 minutes of physical activity. And if we can't do anything else, at least walking. That would comprise my healthy day. And I'm having a habit of doing a meditation regularly. So 10 to 20 minutes of some mindfulness meditation or peaceful walk also sometimes will work as a meditative kind of activity, and some amount of at least physical activity, 30 to 40 minutes, and healthy eating diet which is low in sodium, which is not having fast food, junk food, and preferably homemade food which is having a good protein like eggs or pulses, and less amount of carbohydrate. I think this would be my ideal lifestyle going forward also, and I'm following this lifestyle since last 3-4 years as well. And I would add also one more thing which is I am fan of, like having an intermittent fasting. So I generally keep 16 to 18 hours of fasting every day, most of the days, and remaining part of the time I would have one large meal and one small meal. So that is, I think, my healthy lifestyle since last few years and also going forward. Thanks a lot.
Thank you so much. I think that's a great take on that topic. Since it's my favorite topic also, I want to add a few things that I also do as part of following a healthy lifestyle. So I follow physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So these are the 4 aspects that I try to cover on day-to-day basis. So for physical, as you all said, do some activities like exercise or cycling or whatever that you can do. Mental, obviously meditation or doing some activities related to writing, journaling. And then coming to emotional, talking to people, connecting with friends, giving a smile, sharing your day, how it went with your family members. So those are all our emotional aspects. Coming to the spiritual, connecting to your source, doing some activities, whether you visit temple or you read some, if you want to go and reading Quran, or if you want to read Bible. So whatever spiritual activity that makes you happy, I think I follow these things consciously. So coming to the last topic, anyone wants to take it? Any volunteers? So we have one more guest. Guest Adil, right? Adil, you want to go for the next topic?
There's a hand raised. Vikram,
All
from
right.
Agamai.
I think I'm seeing Grammarian is raising the hand. Is that you, Aniket, right?
Yes.
You want to go
Yes.
next, right? What your name is?
Yeah, I can go.
Aniket, right?
Aniket.
All right.
Aniket.
All right. What's your number, Aniket?
Think,
Any
anything I can take.
number 10. What's more
10.
important? Okay, the topic is what's more important, sleep, exercise, or diet? What is more important, sleep, exercise, or diet? Guest Aniket.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Vikram. So, what is more important, sleep, exercise, or diet? So, according to me, like all three are equally important. Like we cannot have a good health or even survive without any one of these. For example, if someone does not getting proper sleep, then he will also start having other health issues and also will not have good mood and also start having physical health issues. Similar to lead the truth, exercise is also important. Like if someone does not have a good lifestyle, then like does not have a very physical activity and eats a lot of junk food. So exercise is important, at least for a few minutes a day. Mind exercise is important for everybody else. A lot of diseases will start coming. And food definitely for people cannot survive without food. Like and also healthy food is important. Like if someone eats too much junk food, then ultimately the other aspects will also get affected. His mood will get affected and his weight will get increased. Other diseases can also come. So like definitely we cannot take one as more important. All three should be prioritized so that a person can live for longer. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Aniket, for taking the topic. And in order to beat the clock, I think we would conclude the table topic section here. And I hope all of you enjoyed it and you're going to be an adroit of your following a healthy lifestyle going forward. And now let me call our table topic evaluator, Noor, to evaluate the table topics.
Thank you, Table Topics Master, fellow Toastmasters, and dear guests. A very good morning to you all. What a wonderful day we had today. Exceptional keynote speaker and wonderful topics and even wonderful speakers. Now, I'll give my evaluation on how you spoke and how you could improve your impromptu speaking skills. Now, the first topic was for Saravana Kumar, and the topic Saravana Kumar got is mental health more important than physical health? Now, Saravana Kumar, I liked your introduction because you started with a gesture of being, dull when you woke up, and then you dissected the topic. Like you said that physical health should be in tandem with the mental health. And you explained on how mental health is more important than physical health. You told that let's break down physical health. What is physical health? Going from one place to another place. If your mind is not in its proper position, you might not even do that, right? And you also suggested that we practice mindfulness, and you summarized about we practice, and there was a call to action, practice mindfulness. Now, Sarvan Kumar, I like the way in which you approach the topic, your structure of how the topic works. What I would suggest for you to improve your future impromptu speaking skills is for you to be more specific about the topic, right? Is you have to summarize, you have to take a stand. I strongly believe that mental health is more important than physical. Now, this is the reason why, right? And draw down from your personal example. Like, think of a time where mental health was more important than physical, all right? From your personal example. Because when you draw down from your personal example, people are more willing to listen to you, right? Rather than just stating that why mental health. You have to be persuasive a little bit so that I can believe in your story, right? Whatever it is. I would believe anything which you would draw down from your personal. But well done, Saranukant. Please keep coming, and I'm sure you will be a very good speaker. The next speaker was Manoj Kumar, and his topic was what does health is wealth mean to you? Now, Manoj is an excellent speaker by default. He he understands the topic clearly. And Manoj, I love the way in which you approach any topic. I've seen you speak so many times, and you speak with so much grace and so much clarity in your speech. That is what I love about it. Right? You draw down from your personal examples. You talked about a broken backbone. First, you told about the context that I thought wealth is everything, 30,000, you were earning and you wanted it to 1 lakh. Then suddenly a shift, right? It's like a great storytelling, right? And you talk about your broken backbone, a slight fracture in it, and how winters were painful, and how you thought about investing in your health. And then you talked about uh, you are the richest person in the world. Joy and happiness is the ultimate aim of existence. You only one little thing for you, Toastmaster Manoj, is for you to summarize more emphatically. There was a point where I thought you summarized and then you continued with another statement. So I would really want you to end on a very high note because your topic was absolutely wonderful. Just end it on a high note and you would nail it. Thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience. The next speaker was Saravanan Kumar. Should workplaces offer mandatory wellness programs? Now, Saravanan Kumar came up with a very direct thing. And my straight answer is yes. And he talked about how companies need to invest in health of employees to increase their financial output, and how TCS invests in employee health and how they give benefits. Now, Saravanan Kumar, you are a good speaker. You are an amazing speaker. Now, what I saw today in your speech was the energy was missing, Shravan. Somehow I felt that you were talking in a pace in which I couldn't connect to you really well. Right? There was some energy missing. Anybody, any speaker who speaks, if that person speaks with energy, people are more willing to listen. Yeah, and you had a little bit longer pauses. Now that breaks the flow of your talk. So try to see that you have a rate at which you speak, wherein it is at least connecting. Because once you have a little longer pause, somehow the flow breaks. And you don't need to fill the 2 minutes. If you're done, you're done. You summarize it and you're done. Right? Most of the time I see you speaking for 2 minutes. And just if you call a spade and done. You're a good speaker, Shravan. I love listening to you. You have very lot much information and value to share. Thank you for sharing your story today. Nidisha, your topic was if you could invent a new healthy food, what it would be. Toastmaster Nidisha, I don't know whether you're a Toastmaster or not, but I believe that you drew down upon. I thought you thought differently. Too much of anything is bad. Mix some healthy, mix some unhealthy, and eat less of that. You had the content. The thing is that you had to build on that. So what I would suggest to you, Nidisha, is that please, from your experience, think about keywords only. Whenever you get a topic, think about keywords. one healthy food you could invent. Invent means you have to create that food, right? So you like pasta, for example, and there is a salad. You mix salad and pasta and make it a healthy food. And you talk about why it would be the most healthiest food. All right. Just something simple keywords only, and think from your own experience. Your mother gave a healthy food, you didn't like it. So, what is the other alternative you had in mind? All right. You can talk anything, absolutely anything. Don't feel stuck. Just tell a story what happened in your canteen in your school. Doesn't matter. All right. Just tell us from your life some story so that we can listen. Thank you for sharing your story. The next speaker was Vanilla, and she got the topic. If you could pick one healthy activity, what would I really like the way in which Vanilla approached the whole table topic. She instantly know that uh, walking was her best bet, and she was very honest about it because she would like to exercise. He clearly stated walking is the safest alternative. It boosts energy, trekking, traveling, and she told a story about trekking. And Vanilla, I think that is your strength. You draw down on your experience. I thought you were stuck for a second there, but you quickly got hold of the topic, and then you talked about your experience of trekking, and then you shared a story with us. Well done. What I would only suggest to you, Vanilla, is that summarize at the end. Anything. Walking has helped me a lot, and this is the reason. And just summarize it a little bit. You are exceptional in that matter. The next topic was for Mahesh. What is one health myth that you believed that you later debunked? Now, Mahesh, I believe that you are new to Toastmasters way of speaking, and I know you can get stuck. So don't worry about it. The first time I spoke, I froze on the stage for almost 2 minutes, and I couldn't, a word didn't come out of my mouth. So it's okay, all right? You talked about exercise and healthy food. Just talk about why you thought that exercise and healthy food are important. Although the topic was about something which you believed was true, but later you understood that, oh my God, that was not true at all. I thought eating pakoras was good, but later I realized that it's very bad for health. Right? Something which from your mind which comes. So keep coming here, practice table topics, and you should be really good at it sooner or later, right? So keep coming. Dr. Jay Kumar, describe your ideal healthy lifestyle in 5 years. Right? Dr. Jay Kumar, I really like the way in which you connected that post-credit slide of Dr. Anil to get started with your table topic. I sincerely liked that breakdown of an ideal day, a healthy routine, which you have in an ideal day, diet, mindfulness, meditation, physical activity, intermittent fasting. Uh, I love the examples which you gave. And I thought that instead of stating 1, 2, 3, 4, you could say that my ideal day would look like a healthy diet. Explain about that. Mindfulness meditation. Explain a little bit about it. A physical activity. Little bit about. You did it, but you stated like the contents 1, 2, 3, 4. Then explain one, explain two, explain three, explain four. It's absolutely no comments on that. You can either do any of these. The only thing is, I would suggest you to tie it to the 5 years. If you follow this ideal day routine, in 5 years, you would have an amazing mental and physical well-being. That 5 years was somehow I felt was missing, but you broke it down as a great doctor. You know that the fundamental element is the day, and which you rightly focused on. Thank you so much for sharing this, Dr. Jacob. The last speaker was Aniket. What is more important, sleep, exercise, or diet? Aniket, what I would suggest to you is take a little bit of time when you begin your table topic. Understand the topic. What is more important? The key word is more. All right. You went on with the stance of take all are important. All right? we all know that sleep is important, exercise is important, and diet is important. But among these three different aspects, what is more important? All right. For example, you had good exercise that day and you had a well diet, but you couldn't sleep. What happened? If you could just take a few seconds before you start, you can actually formulate a way in which you can actually approach the topic. All right. Take few seconds, maybe 10 seconds, less than 10 seconds. It doesn't matter. But once you have a thing in mind, one idea comes to your mind, build on that idea. Which one of it is more important? Is diet more important, or is exercise more important, or sleep more? So just pick one and then speak on that. It doesn't matter which one. All right. We want your perspective. So with that, I think that most of you have done really well, and only few tips for you to improve your table topics. Any attempt later on in future is first take time before you start. All right, 5 seconds to compose and get that first initial idea and build on that idea. Second thing, when you talk with energy, talk with confidence. All right, you own the stage. And lastly, when you have your point finished, end it, summarize it, and end it. These are the few tips which will help you to become an effective impromptu speaker. Back to you, general evaluator, I believe.
Thank you, Toastmaster Noor, for that wonderful evaluation. So, Zoom Master, can we have the poll for the table topic speakers, please?
Sure.
Yeah, and while the polls are happening, we can move over to our general evaluation section. Toastmaster Afroz, can you please take over?
Sure. Thank you, Toastmaster Ishita. We now move to the evaluation section of our meeting. Before I present my general evaluator report, let's hear it from our role players about their observations. First, I'd like to invite our timer, Toastmaster Amarnath, to present the timing report. Toastmaster Amarnath.
Thank you very much, Afroz. So we have started meeting on time today. Today's keynote speaker, as scheduled, it is concluded in 25 minutes. And the question and answer, we have slotted for 10 minutes, but it is beyond this schedule. We took around 55 minutes. Probably we can limit our timings on question and answer going forward. Coming to the table topics, Shravan Kumar, 2 minutes. Manoj took 2 minutes. Shravan Kumar took 2 minutes, 20 seconds. Nidhi took 27 seconds. Vanilla took 1 minute, 20 seconds. May conclude his speech 58 seconds.
I think he accidentally got dropped off.
Yeah, let me move on.
Yeah.
Now I invite our R counter, Toastmaster Sarika, to present the R counter report. Toastmaster Sarika.
Yes. Let me share the screen.
Yeah, we'll end the poll soon. Can you please finish the voting? I request everyone to please finish the voting.
So, thank you, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So, here is my counter report. TM Amarnath has 4 hours and that's it. TM Ishita has more than 5 hours. TM Afroz didn't have any filler words. TM Aniket had more than 5 hours and that's it. TM Varun doesn't have anything. TM Vikram has more than 5 hours. TM Sarvan Kumar, the table topic speakers. Sarvan Kumar has 3 R's. Manoj Kumar doesn't have any filler words. Shravan Kumar has 2 R's, 3 so's, and a long pass. Nidesha has 3 R's, 2 and 1 so, 1 like, and a long pass. TM Vanilla has 1 R, 2 so, 3 like, and that's it. Mahesh has more than 5 R's, 2 and that's it. Jay Kumar has more than 5 R's and 1 like, and he repeated a word I am having. Aniket has more than 5 R's and more than 5 so's and more than 5 like. Toastmaster Noor has more than 5 R's and 1 so, and he repeated I and you. That's it.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sarika. May I now request our grammarian Aniket Gupta, if he's available, to share the grammarian report, along with the usage of the word of the day and idiom of the day. Toastmaster Aniket.
Thank you, Toastmaster, of course. So, as per my grammarian report, the word of the day and the idiom of the day were mostly used by, were only used by Toastmaster Ishita. And apart from that, among the good usages of the sentences were like Manoj Kumar used a few good usages like quantum and symphony and various other good phrases he used. And also it was used a healthy employee build a healthy company by by the I think second table topic speaker. So that's what from my report.
All right. Thank you, Toastmaster Aniket. Finally, let's hear from our active listener, Toastmaster Varun, with the listener's report. Toastmaster Varun.
Yeah, thank you, Toastmaster Cruz. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and my dear guests. And now it's time to test your listening skills. I will ask a few questions based on what you have heard today. Please raise your hand if you know the answer. What is the word of the day? I repeat, what is the word of the day? Yeah, tell Toastmaster first.
Can't hear you. You're on mute, Afroz.
I'm sorry. The word of the day is adroit, which means clever or skillful.
What can you repeat it again?
The word of the day is adroit, which means clever or skillful.
Yeah, you're right. Second question, what are the symptoms of cardiovascular disease?
Can you repeat your question?
Yeah, what are the symptoms of cardiovascular disease?
Pain in the chest.
Yeah, you are right, Toastmaster Ishita. And the third question is, what is the silent killer said by Dr. Anil Jain? I repeat, what is the silent killer said by Dr. Anil Jain?
There are two actually. One is the hypertension and the diabetes.
Yes, it is merely, it is high blood pressure. And the fourth question is, who was the grammarian today?
Toastmaster Aniket.
Yeah. And fifth question, what is the first question asked by Toastmaster approach?
Okay, you should not answer. You should not answer
Yeah.
this.
All right.
He had asked many questions. What is the first question?
Can I answer?
Anyone guess?
I can answer that. I think
Yeah.
he asked what is the difference between heart attack and cardiac arrest.
Yeah, you are right.
No. That was not the first question. I said, why are we witnessing a rise in heart attacks among the young people, seemingly healthy individuals who go to gym?
Yes. I think there is small mistake. Yeah, you are right, Toastmaster approach. Then sixth question, what is the question asked by the third table topic speaker?
That's very tough, Toastmaster.
Question asked by the table topic speaker?
I think he asked
Yeah,
a third
maybe.
question. Third question, huh?
Yeah.
I know the answer, but I won't let anyone else to.
I'm still trying to figure out the question.
Yeah,
No,
I
no,
know.
he
Yeah, the question is, should corporate incorporate wellness programs, correct, Toastmaster Varun?
No.
No,
Toastmaster
that was
said
not the
not
third
right.
speaker.
No.
Oh, third table topic. What was the third table topic you're saying? Okay.
Yes, I asked a table topic speaker.
But as far as I know,
I believe
Ishita is correct actually.
yeah,
That is Shravan
TT
Kumar and
confirmed. Should workplaces offer mandatory wellness programs?
Yeah, that was the
Ti-
third TT.
Timer 500 rupees fine for you. Sorry, the
Listener.
listener 500 rupees fine.
Yeah, don't scare him, Noor.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let him. Yeah.
The answer is should workplace offer wellness?
Oh, okay.
Should workplace offer?
Should workplace offers wellness manner program?
Okay, I didn't
Yes,
use
yes.
this. I didn't use the correct words. Okay, sorry.
I mentioned it in my, and I think Toastmaster Noor clearly helped us. So I was able to just read it out. Thank you.
Yeah, and the next question is, what is the place or location mentioned by the fifth table topic speaker? That's Vanilla.
Lambasinghi. Lambasinghi was mentioned. She went
Yes,
there
you are right.
trekking. Yes.
Yes. Okay, thank you all for being such attentive listeners. It was a wonderful experience for me. I hope you stay engaged with everything happening today. Back to you, Master Coach.
All right. Thank you all role players for your adroit observations and contributions. Now, moving forward, let me share my general evaluatory report. Ishita, should I go for it?
Yeah, sure.
Dr. Anil is here. He wanted feedback on his presentation. Shall we do a round robin evaluation for Dr. Anil's keynote speech before the G gives the overall evaluation?
That's a good idea, Toastmaster Noor. So, should I call for the timer, or how would you suggest?
We can go round robin. Anyone who has feedback for him can actually give him
Yes.
feedback so that it's be productive. Yeah.
Sounds
We can
excellent.
spotlight Anil Jain, Dr. Anil Jain, and so that he can receive feedback.
Could Toastmaster Ishita help spotlight
Yeah, can you
Dr.
come on
Jain?
the camera? Only then we can spotlight. Yeah, great. So thank you so much for waiting till the end for the feedback. That's really very sportive of you.
I think I'll go first with the feedback and then about the keynote speech. Our keynote speaker, Dr. Anil Jain, gave a truly impactful talk titled Love Your Heart. He highlighted the important lifestyle habits for heart wellness, like getting adequate sleep, being mindful of your diet, staying physically active, and even managing stress, all in a very simple and relatable manner. His emphasis on real world practices like the 80% diet control and 20% exercise formula, and the importance of emotional health added immense practical values. The takeaway about making conscious lifestyle choices today for a healthier tomorrow resonated strongly with me. So that's the feedback I have. You were on point with the delivery today. Thank you. I would let others who would like to share the feedback.
Thank you, Afroz.
Yeah, Dr. Anand. I really love the presentation what you had today. Very informational, very valuable. Now, I know that you already know what you're good at. What I would give a few suggestions for you to improve your presentation. Number one is you can leverage the power of three. People remember three things really well, right? They can understand and process one, two, three, and they can remember one, two, three easily. So if we could craft your presentation into three segments, right? One, two, and three. And at the end, also, it's very easy to summarize three things about the whole keynote speech. The second thing, what I would suggest is instead of a monologue, every keynote speaker who comes thinks that they have to present a 25 minutes long speech. What I would suggest is encourage dialogue. And like you have a question, how many of you have encountered heart attacks in your life? Right? People connect to you. Right? The more connection you make with people, the more impactful you would be with any audience. For example, you go for a conference and you talk. How many of you have witnessed heart attacks? Please raise your hand. And you see people connecting to you. How many of you know the difference between a heart attack and a cardiac arrest? You engage people, let them talk. So the more they talk, the more you can actually, you understand your audience more, the more better you can actually craft your message to meet that expectation of the audience. So to summarize, use the power of three and encourage dialogue in your speech. Thank you, sir. Thank you for sharing such valuable information today. I thoroughly enjoyed your keynote presentation.
Thank you very much, Noor. I think your feedback is very, very valuable, and I commit to make best possible attempts to, to incorporate it in any subsequent presentations. This is really very helpful. Thank you very much.
Yeah, of course, you can continue.
Yeah, with that done, let me proceed with the general evaluation. The overall meeting was well organized and kept a vibrant energy throughout. Thanks to Toastmaster Ishita, who's been both the presiding and team mod today. She conducted the meeting with adroit coordination, making smooth transitions and keeping the theme alive across segments. The table topic session led by Toastmaster Vikram was energetic, encouraging participants to think quickly and beat the clock with their responses. The role players like Timer, Toastmaster Amarnath, R Counter, Toastmaster Sarika, Grammarian Aniket, and active listener Toastmaster Varun performed their duties with skill and enthusiasm. Let me share a few recommendations. I would recommend everyone, all of the audiences, because this is especially an online setup, to do a quick tech check of your equipment, of your computer, your mic and audio before you join. So that and even your internet connectivity, so we don't have surprises and delay during the meeting. That is one. And secondly, I would encourage all the participants and role players to join a little ahead in the meeting, because I saw at the beginning there were really few participants, and then maybe 15-20 minutes down the lane after the meeting started, there were about 22 participants. So that is another recommendation I would make. Finally, my closing commendations. The word of the day, adroit, and idiom of the day, beat the clock, were thoughtfully incorporated by several speakers, demonstrating alertness and language creativity. The session created an atmosphere of learning, wellness, and community spirit, perfectly blending Toastmasters values with the health theme today. A huge kudos to the organizing team and all the participants for making today's meeting memorable and impactful. Before I close, a special thanks to Dr. Anil Jain for his adroit and heartfelt keynote today. Your simple yet powerful reminders on health wellness have truly inspired us to make conscious and healthier choices. I'd like to express thanks to all the guests here. Your energy and support made today's meeting even more impactful. Thank you. That sums up my general evaluation. Over to Toastmaster.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Afroz. We'll just launch 2 polls now. Amarnath, can you please launch the auxiliary roles poll?
Sure.
I request all of you to please vote for the best auxiliary role.
Yeah, poll has launched. It's on your screen. Please go ahead and cast your vote. You're already running late. Please go ahead and do it quickly. The last few seconds to end the poll. We already received 12 votes out of 17. All right. We're ending the poll now. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Yeah, Ishita, back to you.
Okay. Now we'll launch the lead role player.
All right. We are ending the poll now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Zoom Master Amarnath. You're playing multiple roles today, so you're juggling between the tasks. Thank you so much for your help in the meeting. Let me just note down the winners. All right, so it was an awesome meeting, and we have run really over time right now. Yeah, unfortunately, we don't have the category of best listener, which obviously goes to you, Toastmaster Afroz. You have answered the maximum number of questions in the section of active listener. So congratulations, Afroz. Yeah. So I'll now take off the hat of my team mode and wear the presiding officer hat, so that we can wrap up the end of the session. I heartfully thank Dr. Anil for the keynote session and staying throughout the meeting and observing the session. So I'll come to you first. What is your feedback of the Toastmaster session? I believe this is your first Toastmaster session you have attended.
Yeah, this is indeed the first Toastmaster session that I've attended. I think the feedback is very, very positive. And I think this is a wonderful, I was a little bit aware, but I have never witnessed the granularity of the sessions. So I think this is a wonderful initiative, wonderful plan, helping people become, if I have to say, in your words, more adroit in communicating what they want to communicate, and also make sure that they beat the clock. So very good learning, and I think a lot of learning for me too, because from whatever I saw during the tabletop topics session, a lot of things I can relate to, including some of the figures that the R counter person showed, and then how to how to weave storytelling into what you are saying, and of course, the other feedback. So, extremely enriching experience. And I'm glad that you're doing it for upcoming speakers. So this is almost like what I think of doing as part of the medical community for the patients. So this is really, really commendable, very impressive. And I am deeply grateful to each one of you for having me exposed, to this kind of work.
Thank you so
Thank you
much
so much.
for your kind words, Dr. Anil. And this Toastmasters community is a place where we find a very safe environment to make mistakes and learn from our mistakes. So that is the best part. And Sattvic Toastmaster is very special because we help people learn about health at the same time, make their public speaking better. So you are more than welcome to join us anytime you wish to attend our meetings. If you want, we can add you to our guest group so that you get regular notifications of our meetings. And if you want to take it a notch higher, then please join us in Sattvic. that is the best part. So I'll now go over to the other guests. We are already running very late, so I won't take much more time. So I'll just ask Dr. J, you're coming after a very long time. So how was your experience today?
Yes, enlightening experience, and the way we are doing the meeting, the way we are putting recording and MOM also, wonderful. And I would be like encouraged to I am taking a little bit break because of work related lack of time, but maybe soon in few months I'll be joining back. And again, like theme of Sattvic, I really like, and the way today's meeting was done, the way Dr. Anil explained everything and summarize what are the practical steps to win daily and love your heart. Really, I am grateful to attend today's session, and I'm motivated to come back again and again. And very soon I'll be planning to join Sattvic also.
Okay, wonderful.
Thank you.
Nidisha, you had been advised by your father to attend the meeting, right? How was your experience?
I had a good experience. I think I need to improve in my speaking still. And
Yeah, join us. It's wonderful to be here in Sattvic.
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I'll now announce the results of the polls. I know you all have been eagerly waiting for the to hear who the winner is. This time, instead of one winner, we will have two winners for every category because the number of votes was so close. Just by one vote, I felt it is not fair to leave the other person out. So we have for every category, we are having three categories. We had three polls. We will have the winner announced. So for the best table topic speaker, any guesses? Who's the best table topic speaker? There are two winners.
I believe the second table topic speaker.
The second, yeah, you are right. Toastmaster Manoj is the winner. Along with him, it is Toastmaster Vanilla. You are also, you have also received almost the same number of votes. So huge round of applause to both the winners. Congratulations. To, Toastmaster Vanilla, you are part of Pragati Toastmaster, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, do come and visit us again.
Yes,
Very
I am.
nice. Yeah, very nice. So the next poll was for best auxiliary role. Any guesses for the winner of the best auxiliary role?
Amarnath.
Amarnath was very close, so he got the second place. And the first place by just one vote is Toastmaster Sarika. Your report was fantastic and you have really done your role very well. So all
Thank you so
Pragati Toastmasters taking away all the prizes. That's wonderful. Now finally, the best lead role player. Who's the best? Any guesses?
T-Mod and PO, Ishita.
Well, no guesses for this. It's always Mogambo who takes away the best
Oh, I thought it
lead
was
role
Talaiva.
player. Best
I thought
Thank
it
you,
was
guys.
Talaiva.
Thank you.
And then
Thank you.
followed by Toastmaster Afros. Your general evaluation report was fantastic, very, very comprehensive and very encouraging. So thank you so much for coming to our meeting for the first time. I am hoping it's not the last time you're going to come again and again to our meeting and encourage us. So with that, I'll officially end the meeting now, but we are free to stay here for networking and chit-chatting that we usually do. But